As I am preparing your cards, I wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am doing this reading from, the Gumbaynggirr people, and recognise their continuing connection to the lands, waters, communities and their culture. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Hello Libra, welcome to your June reading. Welcome to Gemini season. There's a lot going on here, a lot of heavy energy happening, coming through the cards, and I think that's really about what you've just gone through throughout Taurus season. You're coming into this reading with the is represented by the Hierophant in reverse. And the Hierophant being the card that's ruled by Taurus. So that's telling me that possibly really struggled throughout May. You know, May could have been a really challenging month for you. A lot happened. I mean, Taurus season was massive for everybody. You know, we had the eclipses, we had Jupiter changing signs, moving into Taurus. We have Uranus there, we have the North Node there. There was so much. There was a lot of ascension, a lot of people ascended, there was a lot of spiritual awakenings, a lot of growth happening throughout May and throughout Taurus season. And it was fast, it was very fast paced. Now we're slowing down, energy is slowing down. There's a lot of releasing of resistance and a lot of like moving into that integration, integrating everything that happened, that energy, moving towards a Venus retrograde. Venus being your ruler, this will really impact you significantly, and that's happening. That starts on July the 23rd until September the 4th, so we'll talk about that a little bit more next month, but for now Venus moves into Leo, into your 11th house on June the 5th. And we'll begin to slow down there. So Venus is coming through strongly in the cards, and we'll talk about that as well. But for now, I think as well, what's really strongly coming through these cards is this needing to integrate what happened throughout May, throughout Taurus season. Taurus represents your 8th house, and if you didn't watch the video from last month, May 2023 readings, I do recommend you go back and watch it, because that will help you to integrate this reading and to understand what's coming through, because a lot of these cards are indicating that Taurus season energy. The 8th house being the house of transformation. We have the transformation card here, we have the death card, we have the tower card. This is a lot, you know, of transformation that happened throughout May, and it's like you're sort of trying to get your head around it, is what I'm seeing. Now, I think what's happened is that there is a lot has come up for you to process, and it's kind of like, where do you start? where do you start with all of this? You know, everything that's happened. Whoa, what do I do? And what I'm seeing with this Gemini season that we're in right now, this is really being influenced by the Mars retrograde that we had last year. So that happened from November to January. We felt it up until March, and from August even. So it was like a good 7-month period of our lives that were influenced by Mars being in retrograde in Gemini. And so now that the Sun and Mercury are here, highlighting Gemini, and Mars has moved on, it's like we can start to really integrate and start to see what that Mars retrograde was really about. Because while Mars was there and while Mars was in that retrograde phase, it was really hard to see clearly what he was trying to bring to us. And he did destroy a lot. There was a lot of destruction, and we've got, again, like I've said, there's a lot of transformation and destruction here in your reading. And so I think that Mars really swept through your life and created a lot of chaos. And it's like this Gemini season will be where you get to actually put it all together and piece it all together and see what the silver lining was, what the benefit to it was, to find the missing piece to that puzzle that was so frustrating back, from like at the end of last year, the beginning of the year, this year. Yeah, we were really, so you've got this like Eight of Cups in the center of the reading where you're looking for the missing piece. There's something missing, and I think a lot of Libras have been feeling really restless since with this Mars retrograde energy. Mars caused Libra to really yearn for and seek out freedom and adventure and exploration. A lot of Libras would have been feeling, felt like traveling, felt like going overseas, going far away, or broadening their horizons in some way, broadening their awareness through knowledge, possibly discovering new religions, studying new religions, new faith, because of this restlessness. This like something's missing. Eight of Cups, something's missing from my life. What is it? I don't know. While Mars was there, it might have been really hard to figure out what it was. But as you move through this Gemini season, and we can see this followed up with the Ace of Cups here, you'll find that missing piece. I really feel for you, Libra. This month is the month where you find that missing piece and you start a new journey, the Fool. You start the process of clearing away the old and moving into this new. It's very exciting, but there's a lot going on here throughout June, and then as we move into July with that Venus retrograde, it's going to be a process. Now, because with the Five of Cups, there's a missing component. There's a missing component. It's sad. There's a heaviness. There's a sadness here. Whenever things are swept away like this, especially with the tower moment, and death card moment, it is sad. But what I really love about these cards is that we have both of your cards that represent Libra. We've got the Empress and we've got the Queen of Swords. They both represent you, Libra, and they're both out here in the upright position, and they're in really positive aspects with the other cards. I really love them because they're telling me that you're doing really well, that you're standing on your own 2 feet, that you're taking this in your stride. You're not letting it knock your sense of self, of who you are at the core. It's almost like you really understand the point to this because you're so restless. Because Mars stirred up so much in you. It's like you're willing to release and let go of that stuff, whatever it is that's being swept out, because you understand the purpose of finding this Eight of Cups here. And you've got the Kangaroo card here. You're determined. It's a card of determination. And I really feel that for you, Libra. Like you're determined to find what's missing in your life, what you need to find to feel fulfillment. And with the Empress card, that brings us to Venus, and Venus being with the Venus retrograde. Let's talk about that for a minute, because Venus will be retrograde in your 11th house. Now what this means is, and the other thing that I love about this as well with this reading, we've got the Three of Cups in the environment. Three of Cups and the 11th house is all about friendships. It's about the people that you socialize with, the people in your extended circle, your networks, and with that retrograde happening, that's what you'll be looking at when Venus moves retrograde. Even when Venus moves into your 11th house from June the 5th, you'll be looking at your friends. And I'm thinking, with the Tower card here, this could be shaking up and changing your social circle quite a lot, quite dramatically. With Venus is such a beautiful, positive energy, and Venus really asks you to take that deep look at how you're feeling. Do you feel love? Do you feel ease? Do you feel connection? Do you feel trust and worth and value with the people that you're surrounded with? Or if not, that's what needs to be shaken up. That needs to be changed, because there are people out there who will make you feel that way, who you can connect with deeply, who you can commune with. We have this commune card here as well. So this month will be about processing what's happened and processing the Mars retrograde, processing the Taurus weather, but it's also about connecting with your tribe and finding that sense of belonging. And there's the potential here as well that there'll be new friendships formed throughout June. I really like that for you, Libra. I think that if you find new people, if new people do come into your life, and if you do go out and socialize with friends and in your social setting, these people will be aligned with your truth. Queen of Swords, they'll be aligned with who you are, like your authentic self. So it's really nice and positive that these people will come in and they'll be able to match you and meet you where you are, because the people that we surround ourselves with, the people we engage in life with, are often, they're so influential on us we don't realize. They influence our way of being. They can influence us, the direction that we're heading in, and they influence the stories as well with that we tell ourselves. And Gemini being the ruler of your 9th house, again, the stories that you tell yourself are really important here, because they make up that lens that you view life through. So stories as in like how you communicate with the people that you are socializing with. What stories do you tell them about your life? When they ask you, how are you doing? How was your week? What aspects of your week do you tell them, and what focus do you put on those aspects of your week is really important. Like if you have a major event that happened this week and you go hang out with your friends and you're talking to them about it, do you tell them all the sad, negative storyline, or do you tell them, this happened to me, but this is how I handled it, and this is like the positive, that kind of stuff. I think that's that 9th house, that lens that you're viewing it through, and then the stories that you're telling the people that you are socializing with will be a big factor for you this month. It's a good thing to focus on for you, Libra. Because we've got this Death card, there is and the transformation card here as well. There is a need to change in some way that you're speaking your truth, some way you're communicating your truth, to align with this new journey that's coming in, what you're looking for, that missing piece of the puzzle that you're looking for. It can only come to you if you're living, breathing, walking, talking in alignment with that piece of the puzzle. Okay, so there's things that need to end, the things that are keeping that piece missing, keeping you from being able to find it. Looking at your comfort zone really is what is important for you, Libra, to look at your comfort zone. Where are your automatic processes? Where are you automatically diving into? The Death card as well, and the Tower card. We really need to talk about Pluto, and we've got this 4th house card that's come out for you too. Again, that's indicating that we need to talk about Pluto for a minute. And Pluto on June 11 will move back into Capricorn. So if you follow astrology, you'll understand the significance of this. Pluto has just moved signs. It moved signs in March, moved into Aquarius. It's a big deal when Pluto moves signs, because Pluto does very long transits and influences us on a very deep level. So whenever it moves signs, it's a really big deal. It moved into Aquarius from March until now, giving us a sweet little taster of what is to come with the next Pluto cycle that we'll be living out. So that was in Aquarius, that was influencing your 5th house, your house of children, hobbies, authenticity, your self-expression, all that kind of stuff, your joy, your passion. But now it's moving back into your 4th house. So you've had Pluto in your 4th house since 2008. This is a storyline that you're very familiar with. There is some loose ends that need to be wrapped up, that need to be tied up for for you, Libra, and that's why Pluto is moving back, and it will be there until January. So we've got 6 months of tying up this loose end, and then it will move back into Aquarius, and then it will do it again next year as well. But for now, for the next 6 months, the 4th house is really important. Your 4th house being your roots, exactly, being your home, your family, where you grew up. It's your home life. It's the people who live in your home. It's also your emotional center, your emotional base, your mother. So all of that will become important again, and you may feel like there's this reoccurring, like something comes back to the surface and you're like, oh, I thought I dealt with that. And it could be very frustrating to see it come back up again. 4th house being a really powerful house, it's very important that you face this work and you do what is required of you from Pluto. Pluto trying to transform, trying to transgress, trying to evolve the situation to do with your home and your family, your foundation, your emotional foundation, your emotional security as well. It's really important that you look at that, because as you're facing that, the Death card, as you're moving through that, I think that you will move through it, because you've got the Chariot here. You'll move forward with it, and you'll have a new perspective to bring to it, thanks to this Gemini energy, and thanks to what you've gone through Taurus season. You'll have a fresh approach now. It's like, yes, oh no, I have to deal with this situation again. I thought I'd already dealt with it, but now we're dealing with it. Remember, you're dealing with it from a fresh perspective, with a new insight, because you're not quite the same person you were back in March. You've like March, April, May, big months of change for you, and now you're able to address this properly, or address it from every angle. It's like every facet needs to be addressed, and here is the next layer, and you're ready for that because of the new perspective that you're approaching life with, this new missing piece that's coming in. Now the Chariot card, Chariot's ruled by the sign of Cancer, and Cancer season begins on June the 22nd, and I think that it will be a breath of fresh air for you, Libra. A lot of this sort of turmoil, this chaos, this feeling unsettled, this unsettled energy will shift as Cancer season begins. Okay, so the Sun moves into Cancer on June the 22nd, Mercury moves into Cancer on June the 27th, so we're talking like right at the end of the month, moving into July. A lot of this chaos will start to lighten and feel more easy, and you'll start to move into more looking at your career, your empire, what you're building for yourself, the life you're building for yourself, which also involves the people that you are bringing into your life. And I think then you can move forward, and we've got the Fool here as well. You'll be really ready with this fresh perspective, fresh understanding, and a releasing of resistance, and you'll be ready to move forward into Cancer season and take the bull by the horns, so to speak, and really make the most out of it, and make the most out of the Venus being retrograde for you in July as well. Let's get some cards to clarify the Hierophant. We've got the Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles came out in the bottom of the deck. I didn't speak about this. It's come through now to get my attention. We've got the Ace and the Swords, the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So potential for a fresh new beginning. We've got the Ace of Cups here as well, and we've got the Fool. So very, very fresh energy comes in at the end of the month, and this is fresh energy that's come forward because of all of that work that you did throughout Taurus season. Okay, so a lot of you may be perhaps you have, throughout Taurus season, we're very vulnerable with somebody. That the 8th house can be a house where we have to be really vulnerable with somebody we love, like an intimate partner, a business partner, a client, or someone we have to really put ourselves into a position where, you know, the 8th house is about power and control as well. And so sometimes we have to put ourselves into a position where other people can have power over us, or seemingly have power over us, although it's about our own empowerment, trusting ourselves to handle the situation, so effectively that we can be vulnerable with other people, realizing that our vulnerability is only an issue if the other person, you know, if we're unsettled within ourselves. The other person can only ever use our vulnerabilities against us if we're unsettled. So this has been about coming together with another person, and that work that you've done throughout May, and now you've done, and then throughout June, brings you to this Death card. Yeah, it brings out this new opportunity. So we've got like this ending here. We got the Death card ending, and we've got these new beginnings, very clear new beginnings. So many cards emphasizing the importance of the new beginning, because there is this ending, there is this undoing. Tower, the Death card twice. Clearing space and making way for something brand new. And the people that you need to come into your life to do that, they're on their way, especially with this Venus retrograde. We've got the Ace of Swords again here with the Three of Cups. Two of Wands. Seven of Swords, interesting. I think, like I said, about this Three of Cups, it being the tribe and where you belong and the people that you bring into your life, there will be some clarity. There's going to be some conversations around this. You know, if you meet new people, there'll be like an intellectual connection here. You'll connect on a mental level. You also be all holding the same vision. So it's these people that are aligned with the vision for yourself. They're aligned with this missing piece, so that you can adapt and move into a space where you are also aligned with that missing piece that you're bringing in. Be aware of people that aren't being honest and genuine and don't have your best interests at heart is important, and that's where this Venus retrograde will come in. Anybody who is like that, anybody who is potentially able to stab you in the back, to betray you, they need to be cleared out. And you know, and you'll feel into that. You'll be able to feel into that. And the people who have your back, that will stand up for you, that are on the same path, they'll be brought to you. They'll be brought into your life. Now let's get some cards, see what's mirroring you this month, Libra. What's mirroring Libra this month? We've got free will. Purification. The Solar Angel. I love that free will card because, Labrador, it really does show you this transit, this eighth house, this Eight of Cups, eighth house, Mars retrograde energy that we've been talking about this whole reading. How this transpires for you, how this progresses for you, is completely up to you. You have the choice to do with it what you want. But that restlessness energy, that restlessness is telling you that you need to move. If you're feeling really restless, you're feeling like you want an adventure, there's something stuck that needs to be purified. You know, it needs to be transformed. There's a new way, there's a better way to live. But it's up to you. I mean, only you can do this for yourself. And if you choose not to do that, if you choose to stay, yeah, That's up to you. I think the potential is so powerful this month. It's right for the picking for a brand new way of life, a brand new beginning. And you know what, as well, with that ninth house energy, it doesn't even have to be that anything in your environment changes. It can purely just be that a brand new perspective, a brand new way of viewing your life. With the purification card, you know, there's this purifying of your mind, of your perspective, of your vision. There are things being removed. We've got the Tower card and the Death card. They're getting removed and making way for, you know, it's like a cleansing. It's like you're going through a cleansing, and you have been throughout May as well, May and June, this beautiful cleansing, so that you can come through in your full alignment with your full potential. And the solar angel, you know, showing you that they're your light, like this, the sun representing the your authenticity, your life force energy, the light of who you are. And like I said, you know, you've come out in an upright position, really standing strong within yourself and backing yourself and shining, radiating through all the chaos. And that's going to be reflected back to you as you make decisions of your own free will. Those decisions will be reflected back to you. The purifying, the cleansing that you do will be reflected back to you. The radiance that you put out there will be reflected back to you. People will notice. People are going to notice you with Venus in your 11th house. They're going to notice you regardless. So have a think about how you want people to notice you. And as you radiate your authenticity, as you radiate your truth, as you radiate these, you know, this missing aspect that you find and you portray it out into the world, the people and the situations and the environments that reflect that back to you will unfold for you throughout June and throughout the rest of the year. So that's your reading for this month, Libra. I hope this was beneficial. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of your creative journey. Thank you for going on this journey with me. And I look forward to seeing you again in July.